Hey mamas, I'm Brooke Miller, registered dietitian, certified lactation counselor, and a mama who has helped hundreds of moms feel like themselves again after baby, boost their energy, mood, metabolism, and even milk supply. Inside of the Postpartum Shift podcast, you'll learn how to take care of your health so that you can show up best for the ones you care about most. Each week, we'll tackle topics like nutrition, exercise, breastfeeding, mental health, and so much more. Plus, you'll get access to guest experts who will share ways to make your pregnancy and postpartum experience easier. Whether you're approaching the postpartum period or you're right in the thick of it, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's topic. I want you to just take a moment and think back to when you were a kid. What messages did you hear about food or bodies? It might have been a parent saying, "Are you sure you really should eat that?" Or maybe somebody around you judging somebody for what they're eating or what their body looks like. Maybe it was the constant commercials that we got, or hearing that fat will make you fat, cheat meals, all the things. And you might be today a mom yourself, and all of a sudden you realize you want to have a healthy relationship with food and body, not only for yourself, but you want to make sure that your kids never feel bad about their body or never feel guilt or shame with what they're eating. And it's really, it's hard to unlearn a lifetime of diet culture. And you might want to know, like, where do I fit in, and how do I really set my kids up for success? Because I do feel like the pendulum has swung very strongly on both sides. I think that the pendulum has swung really far in your body doesn't matter. We should just never talk about weight, F diet culture, like all of it's bad. We should never talk about bodies and all the things. And then we also have this pendulum where it's like obsession about health and wellness and numbers and perfection. And this is where I hang out. I hang out in the middle of, like, our health is really important for us. Like, I don't know about you, but I want to not only be a healthy mom that can keep up with my kids, but I want to be the grandma who's 75, 80, who's like, let's freaking go to Disney World. I want to walk 10,000 steps with my grandkids. I want to lift them up. I want to play. And so I think that's really an amazing goal to aspire to. I think it's amazing to want to be a mom and a grandma who can keep up with your kids and play with them and be active with them. I also think it's important to show our kids what it looks like to nourish our bodies with healthy food. I think it's great to show our kids that, like, fruits and vegetables are yummy and delicious and they can be part of our day. I also think it's important to show your kids that it's okay to eat ice cream, and it's okay to take your kids out for ice cream and to celebrate with food sometimes too. So there is that middle ground where you can teach your kids that no food is good or bad. But what I'm teaching my kids is that there are some foods that are just a little bit more nutrient dense. There are some foods that have more vitamins and minerals for us. And so when we build our plate at our house, we make sure that we have protein, fat, and fiber on our plate. And then, sometimes we're like, yeah, we're going to have ice cream with dinner, or sometimes we'll go out for ice cream. When we're out of the house, my kids are like, my 2-year-old is obsessed with chocolate milk. So whenever we're out, he's like, chocolate milk. And you know what? My kids eat Chick-fil-A pretty frequently, because if we're out, especially now, we're in the middle of, we just officially sold our house today. But we had been out of our house for the last week, like for all these showings and people coming in and out of our house. So we have been eating at Chick-fil-A way more frequently than normal, because I'm like, I need to keep my kids out of the house and I need them to eat. And I know that they will eat this. But I want to show my kids that, like, it's okay to eat fast food, but it's also not something that we are going to do every single day or super frequently. And so that's something that we can start having, is like awareness around what are our current thoughts about food. Do we think all fast food is bad, or do we think that, do we carry morality around food? Are we like, oh, if I eat that, I'm bad, or if I eat that, I'm so good? There was a lot of morality in how I grew up around food. It was like, oh, we don't have that in our house. Like, we don't have soda in our house. And no, we eat clean and we do this and we do that. And while it was great that we didn't have a lot of processed foods in my house, I went a little nuts. Like, when I went to college, it was like, oh my gosh, there's a Taco Bell here. I never got to eat Taco Bell. So I went a little bit on the crazy end of oh my gosh, beer and tacos and like pizza at 2 a.m., like all these things that were not healthy for my body, especially in excess. And so we don't want to like shelter our kids to the point where they can never experience, things like fast food or cake or cookies or dessert or anything, because the truth is if we completely shelter them, a lot of times they'll, get on their own or they'll go to a friend's house for a birthday party and they're like, drink all the juice in the world, or they, do all these things. So we want to kind of normalize these foods, but we also want to set boundaries with our kids of, yeah, just because ice cream's okay to have in the house, it doesn't mean that we're going to have ice cream every single day. Something else a lot of us grew up with is, I have to exercise to burn this off. I have to exercise to earn more food. That is something that I struggled with for so many years of my life. And now I'm to the point where I'm not just exercising because I feel like I need to earn more food later or I need to burn off what I ate. I just exercise because I love it and it helps me with my mental health. Something else that was, really hard for me to unlearn was weight is tied to your worth. That was something, that a lot of us grew up with, is like, you're a better person and you're more worthy and you're all these things if you weigh less, and like less is always better. And healing our relationship with food and our bodies is really important for us and our kids, because our kids are watching us. So even if you're like, well, I don't actually talk bad about food, I don't say like that's good or that's bad or I'm good or I'm bad. But if you're constantly criticizing your body and saying, oh, I need to lose weight, oh, I'm so fat, and fat means this, and all these things, like if your kids are hearing you say that, then they're going to internalize it. They are sponges. They absorb everything. How you talk about food, how you talk about exercise, how you actually nourish your body. If you're like, oh no, mommy can never enjoy pizza night with you guys because mommy has to be good. Mommy's on a diet. Mommy's doing these things. That is just showing our kids that like, oh, mommy's punishing herself for XYZ reason. And so we really want to let go of good or bad food labels. It's just like food itself is neutral, but it's okay to teach your kids like, yeah, these berries that you're eating, they have a lot of vitamins and minerals. They're really good for us. Like the vitamins and minerals are good for our bodies and they help our bodies function. Or you can say like, oh, this food has protein in it. Protein helps us grow big and strong. Like it's okay to show kids, that there are nutrients in food, and nutrients are great for our bodies and they help us grow and they help our hair and skin and nails and brains and hearts and, like all of these things function. If you've been wanting to reach your healthiest weight and feel like yourself again postpartum without having to sacrifice your favorite foods or your milk supply, I've got a free workshop just for you. Inside of this free workshop, you'll discover how to boost energy, mood, metabolism, and even protect your milk supply. You'll learn common mistakes that moms make that actually cause exhaustion, mood swings, low milk supply, and weight loss resistance to become worse, things that moms don't even realize. And you'll learn the proven 3-step method to heal your hormones and metabolism after baby, so you can go from surviving to thriving postpartum. Plus, as a free gift, you'll get my postpartum snack guide when you come hang out with us. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes to save your seat today. Spots are limited. See you there. We want to normalize all foods in our home too. So like I said, we want to, it's okay to keep some candy in your house. It doesn't mean that your kids just get it whenever they want and that they can just have as much as they want, but we don't want to forbid it and say that like we're never allowed to have that. Something that we do is if we want to have ice cream, is a lot of times we'll have it with dinner. So it's like, okay, we eat our dinner and then we can have ice cream at the table, like as part of a meal. And that has been really helpful for our family. We want to avoid also negative body talk about our bodies, about other people's bodies, especially ours, especially theirs, especially anybody else, because even if we're just talking negatively about other people, then this is huge. So we shouldn't be saying like, oh, I need to lose all this weight, or I feel this way about my body. Really focusing on how I feel. So I might say something in front of my kids like, oh, I'm going to go work out because I want to get strong. Like that's just showing my kids like, oh, working out can help make you strong. I love how strong my body is when I lift weights. Those are things that we can say. So it's okay to have health goals, and it's okay to say, oh, I'm trying to lift heavier. I'm trying to do this, or I want to get more muscular so I can keep up with you, or I want to run faster. Like it's okay to have those goals, but we don't want to say like, oh, mommy has to go work out because she ate that. Or mommy's fat and she needs to go exercise to like lose the weight so that I'm, kids are so smart. They will pick up on so many little comments, even if we are like praising our child, like, oh, you're so skinny, or we're praising other people for being skinny, then that shows our kids like, oh, I need to in order to get love or praise from my family, then I need to look a certain way. So again, we want to model eating a variety of foods in front of our kids. We can show them, again, like there's actually, if your kids have a Tony box, my boys are obsessed with their Tony box. I will actually link it in the show notes. It is the freaking best toy that we've ever bought in our entire life. Like, and then we buy them little Tonys for like Christmas and birthdays. And there's one called Coach Hippo, and there's a song. It's like, I can eat a rainbow each and every day. And it's like teaching kids that like, we want to eat, different colors of the rainbow. And like, I love it because they talk about deep breathing and meditation and drinking water and going to sleep. And like, it's all these healthy habits. There's little affirmations in it. It's like the most adorable. I will link the Tony thing below too. But it's like, I'm unstoppable and I'm amazing. It like really teaches your kids like how to talk to yourself, and food is really important for our bodies to grow and be strong. And I listened to that and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. Like, this is so great. And my son is obsessed with it. So, it's just like a toy that, teaches them that, that food is fuel and food is awesome. We also want to avoid food as like a punishment. So like, oh no, you didn't eat your vegetables, so you're not allowed to eat ice cream. So we'll have ice cream. It doesn't really matter if they, ate their dinner or their full dinner or not. I don't base like, oh, they only get ice cream if they ate a lot. It's just kind of like, oh, we're going to have ice cream. Yeah, it's Friday. We're going to have ice cream on Friday nights or something. And so we don't want to have like guilt or shame around food. We never want to say like, oh, I ate that and like I feel bad or guilty. Like if we ever have guilt or shame around food, we want to just like learn from that experience and move on and like focus on the next meal rather than having guilt and shame. And especially if we're talking about that guilt and shame of like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, I was so bad, our kids are going to pick up on that. And so just know that like, you do not have to be perfect. We're all doing the best we can with the information we have. If you've already been saying stuff, that you're like, oh gosh, I've already like set up my kid for failure. Just know that, we're always putting money in the therapy jar for my kids. It's like a running joke, like, well, we're all going to screw up our kids in some sort of way, but all we can do right now is the best we can with the information that we have. And so it's okay if you're still unlearning. Just awareness is the first step. So I hope that just this episode gives you awareness. So next time you catch yourself talking negatively about your body or somebody else's body or negatively about food, just quickly catch yourself and just pause and say, how could I say this in a way that's very neutral? Because every little shift that you make is setting your kids up for success. It's never too late. You can always, listen, I healed my relationship with food and body when I was almost 30. So even if like your child is 18 and you're like, oh my gosh, I already said all these negative things, just know that you can still heal your relationship with food and body and it for your children as well. And so that is why I love the postpartum shift community so much, because it's a group of moms who they all have health goals. A lot of them, are trying to get to their healthiest weight, or they're trying to have better mood and better energy, and they want to keep up with their kids and their grandkids in the future. And they have health goals, but they also know that they do not want to be following something rigid. They do not want to be restricting themselves. They do not want to beat themselves up and bully themselves. They do not want to do this in a way that's really unsustainable. The moms inside of there, they want to have a healthy relationship with food and body, not only for them, but for their kids. And they still want to reach their health goals, and they want to show their kids that it's possible. It's possible for mommy to be healthy and for them to grow up and, love to go for walks. And we can create and instill these habits. Like, we can just make it normal that we go on family walks. We can just make it normal that fruits and vegetables are just part of our family meals. It's not just mommy's meals, it's everybody's meals. And we can literally implement these healthy habits at such a young age. Even my 2-year-old, he's obsessed with drinking water. And I'm like, awesome. We already instilled drinking water. And he's already doing great with that at 2. Now, my 6-year-old still struggles with that. We're still working on that, but it is really cool to be able to see that just them watching us do something like drinking water can help them do that. And so you can go ahead and click the link in the show notes if you're ready to join the postpartum shift and hang out with the other moms in there who are seeking to improve their health without restriction, without the guilt and shame around foods. Or you can go ahead and click the link in the show notes to join us inside the free workshop where you can learn the 3-step nutrition process to help you get started. So I will see you in the next episode. Exercise is crucial for our overall mental and physical health, especially during pregnancy and postpartum. Something that has helped me stay really consistent with strength training and yoga at home during nap time is the Expecting and Empowered workout app. I love that I can choose how many weeks pregnant or postpartum I am, and the app tells me exactly what to do. Plus, there's cardio, yoga, and strength training options for new moms and moms to be. You can go ahead and click the link in the show notes to get 7 days free and also save 15% off the annual option when you use promo code Nutrition for Mamas. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to the Postpartum Shift podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you could share this episode with a mom friend and leave a written review. This helps the podcast reach and help even more moms. Come say hi over on Instagram at Nutrition for Mamas.